Today's guest, you guys, her name is Kim Jones, and her passion screamed through the screen, and you're going to feel that when you watch this interview. I find it really cool when you can chat with someone who you've never met and feel like you've known them forever, and that's kind of what this interview was for me today. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And remember those likes, comments, you subscribing to the channel, you listening on the podcast, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Please leave a review. All of these things matter because they help the show grow. I appreciate you watching and listening. Get ready for the interview. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Tweet the Stylist here in Florida, and you're watching Trendy with Kim Allison.
Welcome to Trendy with Kim Allison. I am so excited to have Kim Tweet Jones, and we'll talk about that tweet later, on the show today. I found a gem, you guys, in Tampa Bay's beauty scene. Kim brings genuine creativity and authenticity to her work as a hairstylist and salon owner. Her journey is inspiring and refreshingly real, and I can't wait for you guys to hear her story. So let's get inspired, everybody. Kim, aka Tweet, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you, sweetie?
Oh, I'm so good, and I'm so glad you're here. We have a connection. My niece, you own the salon that she works in. I didn't even know that, because where this all started, if you guys all want to know, is I put out a post at the start of Black History Month, and it's been disheartening to some degree that I cannot get most of the Black stylists that I reach out to respond. And I don't know why, for whatever reason, I have no idea, right? So what in the comments for that reel that I posted, here comes Tweet, and she's like, hey, salon owner here, stylist here. I would love to be a guest on your show. And I was like so excited. And then I learned that you're the owner of the salon that my niece works in, Chanel. So
small world.
It's awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I know that you're an hour away from where you live and you stayed back at the salon. So that, girl, I'm allergic to after work. So I appreciate you doing this.
So I was like, you know what? It's fine. I avoid it.
I love it. So enough about all of that. Let's get into you and your story. So your journey and your background. What inspired you, Tweet, to become a stylist, and how did your journey begin? And before you even answer that, where do we get Tweet? Because I love that name.
Tweet. So my favorite cartoon character was Tweety Bird, but I also got a little picked on while I was a little younger. I had a big head with a little body.
Like hilarious.
It would say stuff like that at the schools and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, whatever. I took the joke and turned it into I'm Tweet. And then when I tried to change the name, like, no, my name's Kim. Everybody's like, nah, you're Tweet. Like, this nope. Now that call me Tweet that been around me for years and still don't know my real name.
That is hilarious. I love that though. You know, like Queen Latifah, right? That's just who she is. Like when those nicknames stick,
that's it.
Why not? Let's go. So how did you find hair? What's your journey been?
Ooh, let me see. So I would say I started out, I didn't know I was going to do hair. I'm not even going to hold you. I went to school to be a private investigator. That's what I wanted to do. Or a lawyer. I was going to be in the criminal field. That's where I thought I was going to be, but that wasn't the path that the Lord set for me. So he changed that path. I was a single mom. I started hanging around a young lady which was my mentor at the time. And honestly, she's the reason why I kind of got into the industry. Started hanging around and just watching and seeing. And I'm like, okay, listen. In my mind at that time, it was, oh, she's making money, instant money. She's not, I got kids. I'm a single mom. So, hey, I could pick my kids up from daycare when I get ready, And then she came one day and she had an assistant, and I was just sitting up there waiting on the kids to get out the bus. And she was, long story short, she was like, "Hey, can you shampoo for me?" Now, mind you, I've never shampooed hair before in my life, but my hair. And my hair is like curly,
Easy.
naturally curly, so it's very easy. So I'm like,
Mhm.
this is different. She I was like, sure, if you're gonna show me. And she was like, yeah, I'll show you, I'll show you. So I was like, all right. Shampoo the client, was done with it. The client handed me a $20 bill. I said, no, 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 no. You don't pay me. You gotta pay her. She said, no, sweetie, this is your tip. I said, what's the tip? Mind you, I'm only like probably 18, 19 years old at this time.
Yeah.
What's the tip? She was like, you shampoo, use the tip. So I immediately went to my love and math. Let's see if I do 5 of these $50. And during that time, rent was only $3.15 a month. Electric bills were $50. So I'm like, wait a
Good
minute,
old days.
I can do this and pay the whole bills. How many more
Okay.
shampoo? So she was like, well, if you're coming back up here tomorrow, you can help me too again. So I did. I came back. And my first biggest thing was I was ready. I was ready. I never really knew how to use a shampoo bowl, but she showed me and I did it all. And the first thing I did was wet this lady's whole face up.
I was gonna say, how many people did you spray?
Girl, I drowned her. You hear me? I drowned her to the point where I didn't even think when I did it. I instantly, because water, the first thing you do is try to find something to get it up. Girl, I
Yeah.
grabbed a towel and went to patting the lady in the face, trying to get the water up. She's like, no, baby.
She's like, "Ah." She's
She
like,
was
"Now I know how my dog feels, huh?"
I cried. I cried. I went in the back and cried. And she was like, it's okay. It's okay. You made a mistake. You're just learning. And she still gave me a $20 bill too. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. So long story short, the mentor at that time, which she was a platform artist for Dudley. And so
No, Dudley.
you know what? Maybe you should go to school for this. I mean, you in between jobs, you don't have a lot of babysitting, that you get, and you're kind of running around. Like maybe you should go to school for it. I talked to somebody that owns a school and see if they can get you in there. And I was like, I guess I'll take a stab at it. I mean, she said, I think you can do it. And I was like, all right. So I did. Went to school, signed up for school. Majority of the time I was working at her salon and was at the school somewhat. But ended up loving and saying, okay, well, at first I thought I had to make it look like what I see people do. And I'm good at,
Mhm.
mimicking, and I can look at something and create the same thing. But then when I realized that I could put my own twist to it and it was okay. And then the fact that I'm like, oh man, these women get up, they look in this mirror and they just like, oh, I look good, girl. It was just the whole, it gave me like a chill when it's like I had something to do with making you walk out there and be confident.
Isn't
Or
that the best part of our job? And then even before you're completely done, when they start, they stop talking and they start you know what
doing
I'm talking about? That look. They
that.
start like getting all confident and you just know it's working what you did.
Mhm.
No, that's special too that you almost went in reverse. Well, like a lot of us, I guess, we always I always say hair finds us. We don't really find it. And you had that in salon experience before you even went to school. That's a whole unique experience.
Yeah, that was everything. And I think even after I got out of school, I stayed her assistant for 7 years.
Nice.
I didn't.
Nice.
I
And
don't.
where is she today?
She's still a hairstylist. She's still a platform artist. I don't know if she's still here in Tampa, or if she might have relocated, but she's still doing hair. She's still doing her thing. Her face is all over the place now. Like I said, she was her name was big. She was, a lot of people knew her. A lot of people knew her around the world, and for her to mentor me, she took me under her wing, and it was like that's kind of like how the name started coming, because I was underneath her wing. We did a reality show here in Tampa with hair, so it was
Oh,
like,
nice.
okay, well, now my name is really getting out there. So it's like she opened a lot of doors for me to go into. I always tell people all the time that she introduced me to it and put me in position, and I created Tweet.
100%. And I am a reality show fanatic, so I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna find that show because
Well,
I
really
girl, all the shows, all the islands, all of the dating shows, the housewives, give them all to me.
oh
I
my God.
watch them all. Yes. So you didn't always know, did you always know you wanted to be a salon owner, or did that happen unexpectedly?
That happened unexpectedly.
Okay.
To be honest, I never wanted to be a salon owner. I worked in that salon, and I'd seen the stuff that she had to go through, and that even when I decided to be a booth renter underneath her after I became her assistant and then did booth rent, I still seen some of the things that she had to go through. And I don't like micromanaging. I never wanted to do none of that. Right? COVID came. COVID came. I came. I'm in this little small suite, no window, little small compact little place, and I'm okay with that because I double book, So I'm in this small little space, and COVID hit. I closed. Me and my husband closed on our house on March 31st. COVID said salons to be closed on April 1st.
Oh, nice.
And I said, whoa. And that was just for salons. But my clients were like, and I might be incriminating myself when I tell this part of the story, but it's over with now. Ain't nothing they can do about it. But
hey, whatever.
So my clients was like, yeah, they shut you down, but I still got to go to work. You need to bend my head over the sink. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And they're like, no, I need my hair done. So I told my husband, I was like, we were supposed to take our time to move out of this apartment and move into a home, that we had just bought. And I was like, listen, can we just clear out everything? And I just turn this into a salon until we figure out what this is and what's going on. So he was like, all right. He put up the TVs. He made everything look like a salon. That girl, we had portable shampoo bowls connected to a shower with the water running out. We made it. We didn't know what COVID was, so we put tape on the floor, had everybody 6 feet away, and I had a shampoo bowl. I brought my dryer from the salon and set up the whole apartment to do nothing but, hair in it. And it was a nice apartment. It was like on the 4th floor with French doors and stuff. And I'm saying all that to say we had the TV up and we was eating, and it was just a good vibe. And then they opened back up for us, and I went back to work. And when I got in that little cubicle, I don't want to be here.
You know what's funny is you say it was bad timing, but it was perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Because you literally set up, it was your first salon. The fact that it just so happened that you're moving out of this apartment into a home, so you didn't have to have them in your home.
Mm-mm.
That right. It became like your makeshift salon and prepared you for what you have today.
Yep.
God is good, ain't he?
All the time, baby.
He shows us the way for sure. And you were talking about, before I forget, you were talking about Dudley. And I remember Dudley because my ex-sister-in-law, her name was Leslie Allison, and she was huge in Dudley. I had Dudley everything and the rep and all that was a big thing. Where are they now, Dudley?
So Mr. Dudley passed.
Okay.
But Dudley is still, they're still operating for what I know.
Okay.
I didn't work for Dudley per se. The young lady that I did mentor underneath it, which was Micheline Barber. And she had a salon here called M Salon One. So Micheline was one of their platform artists. And she was like, Mr. Dudley was like her second daddy type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I hear, they still, the business is still around. If I could get a Dudley product right now, baby, but I can't.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, where do you get Dudley? Where is it? It's around, but where is it?
Like, listen, can I get that or that Matador red? I would take it off.
We have it, please. I like the pressing oil myself. That was my favorite.
That was my favorite. With my Marcel's, I love it.
Oh yeah. And not that I use those anymore, but yeah, that was a thing when I did. So Tweet, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced when you started out, when you opened your salon? I know you got your little taste in your old apartment, and then, but when you open them doors and you have to start hiring people.
Yes.
What were some of the challenges you faced without throwing anybody under the bus, if you don't want to do that on camera? Because I know it's somebody's involved.
I can't throw people under the bus. We'll talk off camera. No.
Yeah, right.
No, but seriously, when I first started saying like I'm gonna have people come in, at first, I like I said, I didn't want to. And then my husband was like, you need to put people in there, and you could be working and they could be working, and you need to build this. And I'm just like,
the only way to make money.
Right. I wanted this space that I'm in right now. I wanted it to be me. As much as it's 1,200 square feet, I wanted it all to be me. I had plans to put a living room area. I'm gonna have a couch, a TV, a relaxation. It was just for my clients only. But obviously a different way. So I said, a young lady, and it's crazy because as soon as I said yes, I would, I started getting phone calls. I didn't even promote it. I didn't say I was looking for anybody. I just got the phone call, And, they were like, hey, do you have any space in there that I could come in and work in or what have you? And that was how I got the first young lady. And she's been here ever since, and
Nice.
it's a blessing. And she came in and she's already kind of trained, and we knew each other through mutual friends and stuff like that. But that was kind of easy because it was like, okay, I didn't want to like say, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. I'm still learning. And so as I got her and then other girls started coming, it's just like every time a new one comes in, I learn. I'm still learning now. They'll tell you now, I'm always tweaking something. And they'll be like, girl, make up your mind. Like the other day, I was like, okay, I had everybody wearing all black. Then I was like, well, they say black is hard to find, good, clean black. And I like good, clean, dressed up black. So I'm like, okay, well, let's tweak it a little bit. I'll let y'all wear, a little tan that matches the salon colors and stuff. And then no, let's go back to black. And they're like, they just right now, they just look at me and laugh like, okay, girl. But they
Just
do it.
tell us when we need to go shopping.
Right. That's it.
At this point, right?
Sales. Zara having a sale, go shop. But,
yes.
And I try to keep it uniform. But I think one of the challenges for me with bringing in young ladies is, I'm not gonna say it's a challenge. I'm gonna say it's scared because you never know what you're gonna get. You say you want to provide and you want people to come in and you want them to work, but if they don't match me, it's hard. And not everybody's gonna match you. Everybody's kind of now where I came up in this era 19, 20 years ago is not the same of what the mentalities are now, the stylists. So for me, I knew how to sit back and learn. Now stylists, they're already bosses. They already,
they saw it on TikTok.
Right.
They already know. They already know how to do it.
So it's like you got to thread lightly because you don't want to look like I'm trying to tell you what to do it, whether I'd had the experience or not, or I'm trying to control your business because everybody's independent, everybody's entrepreneur. And then you got to be careful because they are independent contractors. It's not like I do commission here,
That's true. Yeah. And when you see that and that it's something that's not new, you're like, oh, that's so cute, but it's mine.
It's
like you thought that is new. You thought a silk press just happened. Awesome.
Right. Y'all do know those been around, right?
a little bit, just for a little while.
Okay.
So I posted recently on my salon page, my grandmother, she was a hairdresser, and her old oven, it was from 1880.
Oh, wow.
And it's just so crazy because here we come with our Marcells,
right.
our stove, and we're telling the next generation we used to use stoves. I'm like, well, so did they. And then the people before them and all the generations before us, right? So
and now you plugging up a straightening comb. They plugging them up now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know. They're not as hot as they need to be yet, though. So they haven't quite made it. Okay. What's been the most rewarding part of being a salon owner? So we know some of the challenges, but what's the most rewarding? Because for me, I could tell you, I have been a salon owner since I left Tony and Guy, which was the 4-year experience that taught me everything I know. And that reason, one reason only, so that I can control my own environment and my own destiny. So what's been the most rewarding for you?
I would say probably I love when the girls can come in and they can work and I see them working. Like it does something for me. Like I don't even like to be working if they're not working. Like I feel like if I'm eating and they're not eating, then it's not a point there, And I love the fact that I provided a space for you to work at. I'm very passionate about it. So I'm always pushing and pushing and pushing. And sometimes I might push too much. They like, hey, slow down, The rewarding part for me is just knowing when they do have their clients come in and they are, especially if I see them doing something that is like, oh, I told you that and it actually worked or whatever the case may be. I love that. As far as, I love the exposure of the salon because now it's coming to the point where salons are trying to come back. People are not talking more about hair salons, right? And I'm like, I've already got a jump start on it because I kept mine from COVID time in 2000, I opened in 2020. So now here we are in 2025 and everybody's like, you know what? We need to go back into you see on social media, everybody's like, we need the salons back. We need to be able to go in there. We need to be, and be able to sit back in there, relax and enjoy it. And I'm like, Oh, okay. So I feel like
Yeah.
I'm ahead, because now obviously when social media something hit social media, everybody jumped
I
quick.
mean, 1000%, you're right. I feel the pendulum always swings.
Hmm.
And I know that salons were the only thing, and then salon suites became the only thing. But I think now people understand that working by yourself is stifling,
Oh yeah.
and you don't get that camaraderie that you get when you work. Even though people get on your nerve sometimes when you work with other people, you
Mhm.
still feed off of each other's creativity. And when you're in a studio, that's really hard to do,
That's
when it's
hard.
just you, yourself, and you
And
know
you're out in those studios. You're sitting in that studio, there's nobody to talk to. You got to
exactly.
really be able to talk to your client consistently, or otherwise, we got two people just sitting there saying nothing, the whole time. And now you're not really learning your client, or you could be learning too much of your client. Who knows? But it's like you need that. I just feel like you need that comfort around you. You need that, extra people. Like, and then on top of that, it keeps you on with your business because in those studios, I know when I was working there, I was like, if I don't have to be there till 1 and I don't have nothing but a 1 and a 2, I'm gonna do the 1 and the 2, and I'm not coming in before 1, and I'm leaving as soon as I'm done.
Oh
Because
yeah, good point.
there's no need for me to sit there. But when you're in a salon, like, for example, your niece, when she comes in, she's done, but she still mixes and mingles and sits around and kind of gets on her phone. She might make a reel. She might do something on it. She does things and she don't just leave. And that's something when you're in a salon and you're around women and other women and everybody's kind of like conversing together and stuff. You don't really leave. I have clients that don't leave right after. They go sit over there and they go on their laptops, or they don't start doing work, or whatever it may be, or they just sit here and talk with us. But that's needed because it's a salon.
Yeah, and there's an energy behind it too,
Mhm.
to your point. So, how do you balance running your business while still being hands-on as a stylist? Because right now you got to wear the both hats. And as you said, you were going to take that 1,200 square feet and just do you. So
Mhm.
now you're salon owner and your own creativity in your own share, right? Is to some degree having to be shared. So how do you balance just those two roles, right? Because you got to dedicate your time to your client, but
Mhm.
you also have to dedicate your time to your staff.
For the staff, yeah. So I try to keep the name involved in any kind of things, like kind of anything that can, because I always tell any of the girls that work here, if my salon name or my salon is not beneficial, then why are you here? You know,
Mm,
grow off of me if you can't eat off of me, because it's not about a challenge. It's not about, we competing and none of that. If I'm not providing a space for you to grow, or I'm not providing something that you can eat off of, why are you here? It don't make no sense. And and some people might be like, oh, she's just going over there to use it. No, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I'm here for.
mhm.
And it's a revolving door. You might stay, you might go. And I came to the conclusion of knowing that I'm here to help you grow. And if you grow and get more clients while you're here, I did my job already. I'm good. I don't care if you get one or two.
Right, right.
You got them. So some of the things that, I still stay behind the chair. I still promote Tweet the Stylist, but I'm gonna always put Salon Kim Bell and separate the two. So for example, if I do an event, Salon Kim Bell is doing that event. Not Tweet the Stylist. Tweet the Stylist may sponsor it, but Salon Kim Bell is doing that event. And I try to do events to things and be active in things to put the name out there, because if my name grows, then everybody else here is going to grow as well, regardless if they have their own titles, their own, brands, or whatever the case may be. You're still under Salon Kim Bell's umbrella. And if that umbrella ain't opening up for you to get anything out of it, it doesn't make no sense for you to be here, right?
100%. And I like you have the right mindset as a business owner that people can grow and they can outgrow
Mm-hmm.
your space.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, I feel that some salon owners, they hate that
Yeah.
for someone to leave. And it's like, but how you left at
Right.
one point.
Yeah.
I mean, I just,
Right.
that one will remain a mystery to me, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, and I like that you said you've accomplished your goal. If they go out, if they build a clientele, if they succeed, that's what you're here for.
Mhm.
And right? So we all win that way.
Everybody
How do
wins.
how do you handle well, let me ask you first. I think I know the vibe of your salon, but what do you want your clients to feel when they walk into your salon as we wrap up that salon environment topic?
So I love the clients. First off, I like relax. I know we got kids, we got jobs, we got the world, we got bills, we got everything that's on our shoulders. I want them when they come in the salon. It's time to just, you're going to hear some, whether it's R&B, whether it's jazz music, whatever it may be, that's going to kind of relax you and lay you back. You know, you're going to come in and say, hey, I want a silk press or something like that. Shampoo, your shampoos, I want you to let your feet up. I want you to lay back. I want that steam to blow on your scalp. I want that heated eye mask on you. I want you just to relax and put everything, for that little bit of moment that you're in here behind you, whether you fall asleep or not, but put it behind you, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's like, sometimes you never know, women don't have like, you know, girl groups or friends and stuff, because they're so tied up with kids and families and husbands and jobs and careers and things in that nature. So when you come to the salon, you're around like-minded women doing like-minded things. And obviously, you know, there might be some networking in here as well, but you're here. This is supposed to be your peace, your serenity. This is supposed to be where you relax and just kind of just come in. So I try to provide that. I got the candles burning. We got lights dim. Whatever I can do to take that stress off for you, and put it on my shoulders, really. It's on my shoulders. I take the stress.
I want to come.
we wear the stress. We let the clients come in here, all the girls, we kind of sit back, we massage scalps. We do it all in here just to make sure that we are, you know, this is a relaxer, this is an experience. You're not just coming to spend your money. Like, yes, we want your money, but at the same time, I want you to have a good experience with paying your money. And I want you to know that when I left there, my experience matched my total.
Because it's not really matching the total so much anymore. So it's nice to hear that there's somewhere still that people can go to have a full experience.
And that's what it's about. You know, they sit back and they're like, I'm like, you okay? You need some wine? Oh yeah, you got wine? Uh-huh, here it comes.
Oh my gosh. Like, how do you get them out the door?
Whatever you want here. Come and relax.
I love that. How do you handle price increases? Like your clients who don't understand sometimes that there's a value behind all of this professionalism and all of this amazingness that you create in that salon environment that you so perfectly curated. It comes with the price. You still have bills to pay. You still, you know, have to keep your staff on their toes, educated, whatnot, what have you. The wine costs money, you know, so, you know, price increases according to market, they have to happen. So how do you handle that with your clients? How is that received?
So normally when I get ready to increase the prices, I put signs out. I'm gonna let you know the prices are increasing due to the pricing of the products and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have that sign up probably 30 days before, just to let you know, or 15, whatever the amount of days I need to put it out and say, hey, prices are increased. Now, if somebody questioning why the prices are increasing, I mean, I'm very direct.
Yes.
I would probably say, well, you know, was the gas the same price it was yesterday? I'm sorry, because eggs is $8 a dozen now.
Or more. Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta, and I don't really have those issues, you know, with my clients. Honestly, a lot of my clients, sometimes I don't even think my clients look at the prices.
They just pay.
I don't have nobody question anything. They don't ask nothing about it. They book. I mean, I'm booked out every day, Monday through Friday, for the next 60 days.
I love it.
I don't have that problem. But I also don't, when I do increase, regardless of how, maybe I need to go up $10, $15, I don't. I might go up a couple dollars. Like I might have a service that's, you know, and I think that's where people make a mistake when they increase their prices. They take it, you charge $100 for a service, and then they come in and the service now is $130 or $140. People notice those kind of numbers. I used to work for L'Oreal, and when I worked for L'Oreal at being a salon-centric area, I used to watch their prices, and I'm like, these people would have a tube of color for $5.54. And then about 3 weeks later, they say $5.57. And about 3 weeks later, they say $5.59. Nobody never questioned those pennies. But if they took that $5.54 and the next thing you know, the color is $6.50, everybody's like, whoa, 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 whoa. So it's a way to do it. It's, you know, you got to have some kind of etiquette about it. You can't just throw a price out there and say,
well, you don't want to gouge. Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't hurt, you know, like you hurt yourself at the end. It's not going to help you by sitting there just going, okay, well, this is what they charging. Oh, I see they paying this. And that's the other thing. People like to increase their prices, but don't know what their areas is. You got to know what your pricing. You can't sit here and say, well, I'm gonna charge this price because that's what they charge in Atlanta. No, you're in Florida or you're wherever. Know what your demographics is, know your area before you increase the prices. I know products make you increase, but services is what I'm going based off of. Know what your services are in your area before you just start like, now I'm gonna charge $2,000.
100%.
Oh, what, you might not be in a $2,000 area.
Well, and especially if you're not growing,
Right.
if you're not building,
right. And
no brainer.
For yourself. You definitely can't be, you gotta speak, the volume has to speak,
100%. What advice would you give? Because, the new stylists, the newbies, the new beauty professionals, they are who I love more than anybody else in this industry. What advice would you give to stylists what advice would you give to stylists who dream of opening up their own salon? If you could give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
If you dream of opening your salon, open it. But open it after don't come straight out of school saying, I want to open a salon. Like I told you before, I was an assistant for 7 years. Could I have jumped out there and opened up anything I could? I had people in my ear telling me, go, 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 go. I had the money to do it, all of that. But it wasn't that I was just scared to open it. I just knew I wasn't ready. Like, you really got to be ready. I used to pass out cards, and I still pass out cards this day. I'm old school. So I walk up to you and pass out a card, and I used to pass out the card and give it to the young ladies. And I would walk up to them and say, excuse me, can I give you my card? Oh, no, I already got a stylist. I used to be like, oh, okay. And I tucked my tail and went. That's how I knew I wasn't ready. I realized that I was ready is when I went home, I set myself in front of a mirror and I talked to myself. I made a script for myself. And I went out in the world and I said, excuse me, sweetie, can I give you my card? Oh, I already have a stylist. Oh, okay, baby. Well, maybe she'll go on vacation or if she's ever get sick or anything. Here, take my card and I'll, just give me a call if you ever need me. Okay, sweetie? Okay. Or they'll say, excuse me. I said, excuse me, sweetie, can I give you a card? Oh, I'm not from here. Oh, okay, well, take this card anyway and give it to the person that you're visiting because they may need a stylist.
Right.
That confidence to come out and just approach you and kind of like, they like to say bully, but I ain't bully. I just,
I'm not being pushy. I'm just letting you know.
Just letting you know. Somebody here got some hair.
Yeah, you got to, or else shoot. And then they always remember that person that gave them that extra step. Like, oh, wait a minute. She actually cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think she really wants me to come to her salon. Right.
So I would definitely tell them like, no, like don't jump out there and just get a salon. Like, cause this ain't easy. It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. These bills, it's not easy with anything that happens because you're responsible for everything. Right now I just have to order handles for my sinks because guess what, it broke. So now I need another new water hose. Who has to pay for that? Me. And you gotta do it in a sufficient amount of time because at the end of the day, these young ladies expect for me to deliver. So you're taking on the responsibility of other people, and if you care enough, that'll sit on you and it waits on you. And I care a lot, so I don't want nobody. I never want anybody to be someone's downfall. So if that be the case, I'm on it. I'm jumping on it and doing whatever I need to do to make it work. And I think that these young ladies, they go out and they think you can just open up this building and throw up a grass wall and say, and say, hey, I own a salon.
Not the grass wall. Oh my God. But yeah, you're right. And I don't think people realize.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
That's worse than a salon.
Facts.
That's worse than opening a salon. You go in those suites and it's like, and they don't care. They want that $300-400 a week for that suite, and they don't care if you don't have a clientele. You got to really hustle and bustle when you get in those suites. They have that mentality. If your mentality is like, and I mean, eat, sleep, and breathe it, and they go out there. I think that these ladies need to come out of school and go intern, mentor, shadow, go and work underneath someone if you can. Ask them to come by or whatever it could be. Like, start with somebody that's already in the industry, because one thing that I know I didn't get taught, and I'm big on it now. Nobody taught me the business part.
Yep.
I know how to do hair. They taught me shampoo. They taught me how to relax hair. They taught me how to cut hair, but nobody taught me the business part. And I'm just now within the last 6 years, 5, 6 years, getting that part down pat. And if you don't, and that's in any industry, know the business part of it.
It's true, because most people don't know their numbers,
You don't know
right?
your numbers. And if you don't know your numbers, what you making?
You have no idea. Exactly. And, too, there was something, but my COVID or old age brain, I can't remember what I was going to circle back to. It'll pop up, though, at some point, and I'll just blurt it out.
Yeah, look,
You'll be like, where'd that come from? I'm like, two conversations ago.
You got me going with that. Yeah, that's what I was going
Yeah,
here.
I'm like, wait a minute. I had something.
Right.
Do you mentor young stylists, or do you offer training in your salon?
I
But
do.
because they're commission, right? Or are they booth rental?
They're booth rent. Young ladies that work here are booth rent.
Gotcha. Okay, so they really are responsible for their own education, right?
They're responsible for their own education. They're pretty much responsible for anything, but I can't help it if I have some information to give it to them. That's just me. If I see something and say, and I still try to, even though everyone's independent, I still try to work it as if a team, as if they do work underneath me or whatever.
Yes.
Again, like I said, if I'm not helping you grow, then what is, So I still provide and do things that I can do without stepping over that boundary of trying to micromanage or control.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I remember what I was going to say. Like, for young stylists coming into the game who go straight, they just jump into the water right off the gate, right out of the gate. It's like, you're doing yourself a huge favor by working under a seasoned stylist, because they're showing you the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to figure it out. They already know how to do it. All you got to do is become a sponge, sit next to them, take it all in. You know what I mean? You do yourself a favor.
Mm-hmm. Do yourself.
Yeah, you can skip past some of those pitfalls,
or the mistakes that we made, because we made some mistakes throughout it.
And that was one of my questions for you. What's one mistake you made early in your career that helped shape you? The one.
So
what hole did you fall in? The first one.
So I remember I had just became a booth renter, right? I was like, ready. I'm building my own clientele. I got 3 clients. I said 3. And finally, I'm like, okay, this one lady calls in and everybody's cleared from the salon and everybody's going out of town. It's just me. And she calls in, and if I'm the only one there, I get that client, right? So she was a walk-in, and I sat around, I waited, and that's because that's what I'm doing. She came in and she was like, well, I just want to go blonde. Hair was black.
No.
Hair was black. Okay. I'm just a booth renter. I've been licensed, but I'm really not really educated, but I think I know it, right? So she said, I want to go blonde. And I'm like, okay. What? Okay. She's natural. So I'm thinking she's natural. So I'm like, okay. And it's a shortcut already. So it's got to be easy. And at that time I wore short hair. So I'm blonding myself all the time,
Yeah.
It's different though. So I said, okay, no problem. I sat down in the chair. We talked a little bit. I went ahead. I started bleaching her and getting in, and it got blonde. I was like, oh, this is gonna be nice. This is gonna be nice. Oh my gosh. Took her back to the bowl, put that water on there. That hair never came slap like this off in the head. Girl, you talking about somebody was my heart. Mind you, the owner's not there. None of the other girls is there. I don't know what to do. But
and her hair is just falling in the bowl. Just washing out, just
sliding right off her head. When I tell you, it was like,
so you're behind her, mind you, and she's in the chair thinking, oh, I'm going to be blonde.
He's sitting there like, so I said to her, I said, you didn't have anything else on your head, did you? I said, man, she said, no, there's nothing on my head. I said, man, your hair is coming out. She said, again?
She already knew.
I said, did you do it? Well, so I was trying to make it easier for you. So yesterday I just combed the relaxer through it and then I rinsed it out. I didn't keep it on that long.
I'm bye.
Girl. Now, the only thing I say to that, now, yes, she was wrong. And I instantly said, well, baby, you're going back black and we're going to trim you down and I'll treat you for the next 6 months because we're going to grow this hair back. But the lesson that was learned there was proper consultation and analyzation of the scalp. I should have been able to, regardless of anything, open that hair, look at that scalp and say, no, this can't be this straight by your scalp. You know, this can't be this good. Your hair ain't, no, something's there. And I should have been able to analyze that scalp and have a consultation with her and ask her questions. And that's where we fall short too as a stylist too. We're jumping right in the gun and doing the hair, and we're not sitting down and actually sit down with these clients and talking. And talking and talking and talking could save you a lot of things, you know. So that was my first girl. When I did that, that was it. I ain't gonna do no more hair. Forget hair. I'm going back to solve crimes. I'm
Right.
doing that's it.
Well, technically, you're still solving crimes.
Yeah. Well, right at that point, I felt like I was a victim because I was.
Oh
But
my gosh.
yeah, wow to even want to touch color because I was just so like embarrassed her. And she did not, mind you, the lady, she wasn't mad. She didn't feel no type of way. I felt bad too because I was like, what if she come back and try to sue this girl's salon? You know, because I'm a booth renter. So I'm like, oh my God, like I feel at this point I'm like throwing up every time I go home. I'm just sad. I want to just be done. But I treated her hair for about 6 months. It grew back nice, beautiful hair. She didn't complain. She came in for her treatments and we kept proteining it and getting it strong and doing her shampoos and hydrates. She didn't complain.
I think you handled it as best you could, but you're right. The lesson learned, when you don't do a proper consultation, you cost yourself a bunch of time and a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Because right? Because correcting your own stuff is expensive.
Oh, yeah. And you got to charge it. And every time the lady walked in, it was free money walking out. She knew she was going to sit in the chair.
Exactly.
She was, and I wasn't gonna never charge her because I didn't feel right. I just took all your hair out your head. You know, you're gone.
But there are some people today, girl. They don't do nothing. Oh, that's your fault.
Yeah, right. You should have told me.
That's how it is today. And I saw a little meme. It was so cute. It said, the girl said, I think it was on Threads. She says, I'm gonna need my stylist to be over 40. Like I'm over it.
Right.
Like I don't want anybody else.
It's sad, but it's true. It's like
that's what she said.
They want a seasoned stylist now, and it's so sad. And it's the sad part about it because there is some young girls that's coming out in this industry that know how to do some hair. But
yeah, especially weaves.
Exactly. But the industry is, and some of them are coming from underneath mothers and stuff that did hair. But the way the industry is painting the picture is like, no, I
mean, now hair is, you know, COVID kind of changed a little bit too, because people started to do their own hair, and a lot of content creators, they did DIY stuff. Right. And so you have clients that come in like, oh, I use K18. I use this. I'm like, yeah, but it's not for everybody and it's not for all the time. I mean, right? But everybody thinks that they can do it themselves.
Yeah.
Your hair doesn't always need it, by the way, but okay. Let's see some of your work, Tweet, just so we can put some sauce on this interview, so that let everybody know that you know what you're doing.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Ooh, hey girl.
So I'm gonna have you walk us through this, because I can't play music, because every time I try to post on YouTube, they go, oh, the rights or whatever. And then I have to go back. So I'm just gonna let you walk us through this.
So this young lady has tape ins. She has a silk press. She is natural. And we matched her color of her tape ins with her actual extension, her tape-in extensions with her actual natural hair color.
To a T.
Yeah, that's a beautiful girl right there. You know how beautiful girl that's my daughter.
Oh my gosh, is it? She is gorgeous. My goodness.
That's my get free hair type. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
But yeah, she has tape-ins in. We custom color. They're tight curly tape-ins. I use Indian raw hair, and we just color them to match her hair. And yeah, that's it. She changes her hair all the time. But
that's amazing. Let me see if I can get that video without us in it, if that's possible. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. All righty, so let's go to this one.
What's the next one? Let's see. Oh, okay, silk press. Okay, the hair needs to do. Okay, so she's
that.
Yeah, she's natural. She comes in as one of my clients. She comes in probably every 4 months. That product had just came out, so we was trying to try it out. It actually worked, what we was trying to do. Because TikTok had us.
Yeah, I've been playing around with Wow products. I still haven't quite figured them out, but they're
Yeah,
not bad. I can't say I don't like it. I just don't know that I love it yet.
right. And that's for me. I think when it first came out, it was just it was a thing. Let's go ahead and see if the water actually is going to roll off the hair, and with the straw. So we did. We sprayed the Wow, did the whole silk it out, and I was like, Lord, please let this water roll off this hair, because I am not going to blow dry and silk this again. So we did, and it actually rolled off. It was almost like window repellent.
Really?
The water actually rolled off. It didn't
I'm
wet the.
gonna have to go revisit that then, do some practice on my mannequin.
But that's my silk press girl there. She walked.
Beautiful. And that's all her hair.
That's all her hair.
Ugh,
My
gorgeous.
my UPS lady.
Oh my gosh. Probably has that stuff up in a ball every day.
Girl, every day she walked by here with a hat on her head, because she walks by the salon and she knocks and she says, "Hey," and
With that beautiful hair underneath. Okay, let's take a look at the next one.
I can't even see what we're doing.
I think it's microlinks, it looks like.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So she's my sheriff, my police.
Ooh, really?
So she's actually
Is she a sheriff for real?
she's a detective, yes. So we did microlink eye tips on her. She comes in and gets them done once a year. She always has her certain time that she comes in. She wears her hair short, and then she comes in and put her extensions back in. So we colored her hair jet black, and then we colored the eye tips jet black as well. And we installed, I want to say she does about 200 and so pieces, because she has thick hair. So we really had to place them in the right places, and it takes a lot to pull her head up.
And is that healthy for the hair? I guess it is, or you wouldn't be doing it.
Right. So they are healthy for the hair. I mean, I always tell everybody, extensions, it ain't a good extension out there. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Extensions, the way you wear them, as long as you wear them, you can wear them as many times. There's not an extension method. I don't care who, and they might hate me for saying this, but extensions aren't the best for your hair. However, if you wear them, you have to properly wear them, and you have to properly put them in. And then you have to know when to take a break and fall back off of them. But all extensions have some type of, whether it's too tight, whether it's too much pulling, whether it's too long of a wear, or whether it's just not meant for your scalp, because everybody's scalp is different, right? Everybody's head is only meant to carry so much weight. And so sometimes people think that you can just put extensions in, and they're like, oh, I want long hair. But your hair is a 12-inch and you want 22-inch. Well, that's not what your head is supposed to carry, and that's where people mess up at when they start getting that traction, alopecia, and everything else, which I don't know a lot about it all, but I do know enough to know.
I like what you just said, because I've never heard it said that way, that your head is designed to carry so much weight.
It's
your natural hair.
Natural hair. That's what the God gave you. That's what you're blessed with. Your hair, you're only designed with people be like, my hair is so fine. That's what your head is designed to carry. My hair is fine, but it's a lot of strands. That's what your head is designed to carry. It's not designed to have all of that hair in there. And sew-ins are good. You're putting away, but you're putting hair on top of it. You want a lot of hair, sew it in. But when you start doing the K-tips and the eye tips, you're supposed to only be enhancing what you already have, not trying to make it look full and like a sew-in, like a full head of a sew-in. No, you enhancing each strand by a little bit of action to it. But the weight itself could cause problems, And that's what
I always say that's what makes it a good one versus a bad one, is how much weight the extensions, or the weight of the extensions compared to the weight of the actual natural hair.
Right.
Because when the natural hair is finer than the weight of the extensions, it just looks crazy. It collapses at the top, and
some people don't care. They just care about what it looks like on the outside, don't know what the damage in the inside. I refuse people so many times. You're not a candidate for it, sweetie. I'm sorry. Come see me in about 6 months. Let's start the treatments from now. Maybe we can treat to get a little stronger, a little longer, whatever. But not now.
I'm sure they appreciate that. I mean, you got to appreciate that, because you can keep going till you find somebody to do it, and then to your detriment.
Oh yeah. And I might not be the stylist for you. If you find somebody to do it, Fine with me.
I mean, just like when you see cosmetic surgery, ask Michael Jackson. You kept asking, they kept saying no until somebody says yes. And
Yeah,
then,
right.
so
Exactly.
let's talk about Tweet your personal life and your work life balance, if that exists. Because so far, everybody I talk to, they're like, what work life? Is there balance?
Right.
Like,
How,
huh?
what is the work life and personal life balance? I don't
Yes. How do you recharge after a long day behind the chair? Like, what do you do? Because you're
So,
a mom, you're a wife,
mhm.
right? How many kids do you have?
My kids are, I have two kids, but my kids are older. My daughter will be 25 and my son will be 28 this year. I got big grown kids.
How?
I got big grown kids. I got big
Like,
babies.
that's impossible. You look 28.
Really?
I'm not even kidding.
Speak loud into the mic.
You look 28.
No, girl, I wish though, but no, I got big kids. I got big kids, so I don't have to really. I mean, I'm very active in my kids' life though. I'm always trying to push them too. You know, they're never too big. They're never too old. They still my mom.
Absolutely. I got adults myself, and you're right. You got to stay on them. They're always your babies.
Always gonna be something. I'm still mama. You know, um,
So
life.
what do you do when you leave the salon? What's your unwinding? What would you do? Like, you tonight after this, you go home, and do you have a routine? Is it
Yeah, I
is it
probably.
reading? Is it laundry? Is it nothing? Is it reality TV like me?
I will go. I will go and watch some. The crazy part is, like, I try. My mind is always going with business because I'm not satisfied. I'm not where I want to be. You know, I've made money. I've done like it's never enough. I'm always thinking on how I can do more, how I can do more. So when I leave here and I go home, I get on my computer. I start looking at Instagrams. I start
And
looking at TikToks. I took TikToks. TikToks. I started looking at reels. You know, I started creating stuff or figuring out how I can do more things or who I can reach out to do more things. You know, and it's like I don't have no. Before you know it, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm still sitting on the computer, and I'm like, oh shoot, I need to go to bed, and you know, or whatever. Or I'm answering emails or text messages. My brain never shuts off from the business, and
that's me, Tweet. It is. And the worst part of my night is when we go to bed and there's silence. I'm like, oh, my
mhm,
brain, it
mhm.
doesn't shut. And while I'm watching TV, I'm also on my laptop. I'm on my phone. I
My,
mean,
everything is right there, and it's like
yeah.
before you know it, something's fell, and I'm like, oh shoot, I just fell asleep. Okay, let me get up and take everything down. But I really don't have a. Yeah, I'm always just being a salon owner. That's why I say you got to be ready for it because it's hard because it's never enough. You
Oh
come
yeah, when you own your own business,
never
it's 24/7,
yeah.
300. It never stops, and it shouldn't.
And when you stop, it seems like you just lost a lot. Time.
Yeah.
I guess like I just got behind and I'm not ready. And then the thing is too, with even with our industry, when we have trends, right, we got to jump on them right then in order to
Mhm.
see them. You can't just think about saying, oh, just like these videos. If you say, okay, this reel is out or this you know, whatever you want to post, you better jump on it now because
Or
you
it's
know
gonna be gone, the trend.
the trend is going to be gone. You
What
know,
do
so,
you do? Are you out there taking classes still? And are you at a place where you kind of,
no,
you can just watch and learn? Are
I'll never stop taking classes.
are you still out doing hands-on stuff?
I
I love
am.
it.
Like I just 2 weeks ago. So I'm certified with IBE extensions, which is their hand tied extensions, right? So I took this certification. I haven't been really tagging myself and doing what I need to do with it. So I just went back and called some of the other girls that were IBE certified. Hey, can I come in your salon and sit down and watch with you? I do this on the weekends, you know. So I don't never have time because I'm always still trying to put myself. My husband says, "Yeah, you are one hustling behind one." Like he be like, this girl here, she always, and he just let me. He don't try to stop it. He don't do that. He just let me. But I'm classes, like even now with all the shows coming up, I want, you know, I'm at every show. Even I don't have to go to the shows, but I feel like the shows are something that keeps you motivated, something that pushes.
100%.
You know, a lot of people like, oh, I don't want to go to the show because I don't want to spend the money. It ain't about the money. It's about the motivation that comes with it and being around these people to re-energize yourself and say, all right, let me get back to my salon and let me do this and produce and whatever the case may be. And honestly, my clients, for me, they know I go to the shows every year. They want to know what you brought back.
Exactly. It's networking too.
Yeah.
What do you think is one thing that people would be surprised to know about you?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Mhm.
Surprised to know about me. Um, I don't know. Like I'm so
Are
out.
you transparent? You're pretty much an open book?
My gosh, I'm so transparent. Sometimes too transparent. They say they tell- they be like, you're mean, but in a good way. And I'm
Mean.
yeah, they tell me like, why are you so direct and so mean? I don't know
Oh,
what
so
comes.
you're just no nonsense. You
Yeah,
don't strike me as me. You probably no nonsense. You
right.
probably run a tight ship. You're like,
Yeah.
listen,
And I'm
you
not
gotta
gonna,
do
I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm not gonna sit here and give you. I ain't gonna give you what you think you want to hear. I'm gonna give you what I feel like I know that you need to hear, and then I'll fall back and scale back if it's something that's too much for you. But everybody that knows me knows I'm kind of direct and kind of straightforward. But I'm the nicest person there is. I got a big heart. I do anything for anybody. I give my last, and sometimes that sucks. But it is what it is because I feel like
You
I'm a
know,
good.
I'm a straight shooter as well, and my clients, they've always said, "You're no nonsense." And I said, "Right, because I give you guys so much.
Mhm.
All I want in return, just be on time so that
Mhm.
my day isn't wrecked." That's all. You
Yeah.
know, but I'm sweet. I'm kind. So so there's nothing else that you really love to do outside of the salon? This is
I
this is
done
you. In the salon is outside of the salon.
I like to travel. I'm big on traveling and we have me and my husband we like to ride ATVs. We country in the little city.
Oh, I
So
love that. See, there you go. That's what you do outside of the salon.
now when I got time, if we're not on our ATVs, if we're not on the boats going fishing or crabbing, because I'm country, I'm very country. They be sitting there like, "What? You catch crabs?" I sure do. I'm a blue crab eater. Yes, I catch them, clean them, and cook them.
Now that's one thing people would be interested to know. That would surprise people, I'm sure.
What? She don't look like she. No, I'm a country girl in the city. That's all.
Oh, I love that. So you grew up where you live now, or did you grow up somewhere else?
So my mom was military, so we was everywhere, right?
Okay.
A lot of family in Florida too. But I've been in Florida now 27 years. My kids are from here. They were born here. My husband's from here. He's born and raised in Florida. But I was military, so I grew up in Hawaii, and it was kind of a culture shock when I came back this way because I didn't grow up with a lot of people that look like me. You know.
Yep.
So when I came here, it was like, oh, okay, hey,
Here are my people.
right. And then
So
on top of
you
that, like biracial, so it's like, hey,
Oh, that are you biracial?
I am.
Okay, what's your ethnicity?
So my dad's Puerto Rican and my mom is black.
Oh, I can see it. I see it.
Yeah, but
Beautiful.
nobody won't know unless I tell them. That's
Well, I mean, I could tell that you're not 100%, I mean, I think we're all kind of mixed up
oh
with
yeah.
something, a little bit of sprinkle of this or that, but
Mhm.
yeah,
It's
that's awesome. I can see it.
yeah.
I see it in your hair texture, your features.
I know everybody else some of these cheeks and his nose.
It's a beautiful culture, both
They would
of those
walk up to
cultures.
me and be like, "Are you Cuban?" And I'd be like, "No." And he's like, "No, you speak Spanish?" I'd be like, "No." You sure? I can promise you, I'm sure. I don't speak Spanish.
I've been there. Mine is always Asian,
Yeah, I can.
which is crazy. I'm like, "No, both parents are black."
But I can see that though. Yeah. Oh, I can see Vietnamese. Mm.
I've gotten you be and my husband's Chinese. So
Mm.
now, they really think it,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right.
funny. If you weren't a stylist in closing
Mhm,
or a salon owner,
mhm.
what career do you think you'd be in? I think I know the answer because you said it at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, yeah, girl. I'd be a private investigator. That's I'd be
You
private.
like, I ain't getting rid of that.
Yes. If I'm not a lawyer, I'm gonna be a private investigator. Anything in the law. I love law. I still and honestly, I stopped doing hair. I probably go to law school.
Really?
Mhm. I really feel like I have not. I need to put that underneath my belt. I also do real estate. So with
Yeah.
me, real estate license and doing like I love to have a lot of belts because you never know. But I
Yeah,
really
diversify.
that really needs to be something that I want to do. That's on my bucket
Well,
list.
you're young enough. You can, I mean, you can have many lives. You're,
Yeah.
when, what one of my guests, she was the episode I posted on Sunday. She
Mhm.
said something that I thought was so profound. She said, when I asked her what advice she had for new stylists, she said, you know, be passionate about it and do it until you can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
Like do it till you just don't have anything else for that. That means do it to the nth degree.
that's
Put
it.
all of it in.
All of it in until you don't have nothing else to give, and that's it. And you'll know. And I think every stylist will know that moment. You don't know it.
Absolutely.
It literally hits everybody different. 'Cause,
Hmm.
like, I mean, like yourself, we've been doing this thing some years now, and we're still going.
Yeah. And I still love it. I still don't feel like I'm done. And I
And
thought I would be.
right, me, I thought I would be too. And I sat back because I used to always say, I used to see them older ladies in there doing hair, and they had they select 5 or 6 people that they do all the time, and I'm like, no, I ain't doing that when I get
Yeah,
older.
that
No,
looked boring.
that look boring. Now I'm like, it makes sense.
Hmm.
Active. I'm outside the house. Those little old ladies are doing it because they love it. They so in love with the whole creativity of the craft that they're like, I just need about 5 or 6. Get me out the house. I go back home later. And they love it. They can't come out of it. This is an industry that locks you in. It's so hard to get out of it if you're
It's
really
fair if you're doing it right. Because if you do it wrong, you'll go running. Because with the blonde, you could have never came back. 'Cause some people let it just eat them alive.
I mean,
Thank you so much, Tweet. This was
oh,
so
thank
fun to
you.
talk to you, and I could talk to you literally forever, I feel.
Girl, wait, look, let me make a trip. Don't let me get on this flight now. I like to fly. I'll come up there and say,
Okay, and you are always welcome in my city,
hey,
always,
let
of
me know
air.
when you come to Florida. Like, yes, definitely. We got to link up.
I cannot wait now to come to Florida. I'm excited. Only place I've been in Florida is Miami.
So yeah, you got to come to Tampa. Tampa
Yeah,
has
and Tampa, I keep hearing really good things about Tampa.
it has really, really grown over the years.
I'm
It's,
excited.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for my 60-second blowout?
Ooh, not really, but I get you gonna get it to me
Well,
anyway.
get ready, girl, because here it comes. And you know what? I've even said I'm going to change and just ask all the questions. I don't even care how long it takes. So 20 questions. Are you ready?
Ooh, 20. I thought it was
Yeah.
like 2. Okay.
They're one-word answers.
Okay.
Okay. Well, or not. All right. Here we go. What's your guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, girl, I don't watch TV that much.
Then if you could trade lives with any celebrity for a day, who would it be?
Ooh, Michelle Obama.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Tennessee whiskey.
Sweet or savory snacks?
Sweet.
Most unexpected thing in your purse right now?
Girl.
One
Really,
hair
so
one hair one hair product you can't live without.
oh, Moroccan oil, treatment oil.
If your life had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, keep going.
What's your dream vacation spot?
Italy.
Heels, sneakers, or slides? What's your everyday vibe?
Slides.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be?
That's a hard one.
Old. Martin Luther King, who would it be?
Oh no, Rosa Parks. I could sit with her all
Rosa
day.
Parks. What's a weird food combination you secretly love?
Pickles. I love pickles. That's my favorite.
Early bird or night owl?
I'm a night owl.
Perfect. See, you know yourself. See,
A little bit.
You did it. You got through it. That's
I tried.
fun. I love those because people go, "Oh, good question." I
Right.
don't know.
That's a good question. Now you have me thinking.
No, it was such a joy, a pleasure to talk to you, Tweet. I so appreciate you once again for coming on the show
Thank you.
and to inspire the next generation. They need us, whether they think so or not.
Right. And at the end of the day, we ain't going nowhere. We in
Yes,
this. We
exactly.
the way.
Right, exactly. Tweet, where can people find you?
So on Instagram, I'm Tweet the Stylist. On Facebook, I'm Tweet the Stylist. And on Jesus Christ, TikTok, I'm Tweet the Stylist. I try to keep it real simple. Or you can visit us at salonkimbell.com.
All right, perfect. I will see you in Florida.
Yes, ma'am. Come on over. I'm waiting for you.
Okay. All right, Tweet. Have a good night. Bye.